guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to be taking a look at a 1991 Nissan Figaro. So how cool is this? This is one of the cutest cars that you'll ever see. This is actually what's referred to as a K car. That's K-E-I, not just the letter K. A K car is essentially a car that was sold in Japan, and they had limited size, engine displacement, and even horsepower figures. And the whole point of that is these were supposed to be sort of very efficient vehicles intended for city use. You didn't have to certify them for parking, which is something you have to do for cars in Japan due to the limited space, and there were also some tax and insurance benefits as well that you could get by choosing to go with a K car. Now, one of the cool things about the Figaro, other than its very adorable figure that we have here, is this particular car is finished in what's called Pale Aqua. And one of the things the Figaro did is it came in four sort of main colors. They were all sort of pastel-based colors, and this particular color, they were supposed to represent seasons. And this Pale Aqua is supposed to represent summer. Whether you agree with that, you can let us know in the comments down below, but a pretty cool feature nonetheless. Now, I did mention that these are in fact Nissans, but one of the weird things that might be weird, at least here in the US, is the fact that the Nissan Figaro was not sold in a traditional Nissan dealership like we're used to here. While we have one Nissan dealership that sells everything, in Japan they have some more specialized dealerships, and in this case they were sold from the Nissan Cherry dealerships that specialized in sort of selling K cars like the Figaro. The cool part is there was an initial planned production of around 8,000 units, but due to demand, they would actually bump that up to produce over just 20,000 units in total, and there was actually a lottery system if you were interested in picking up one of these cars. So you had to go to Nissan, register to be part of the lottery, and then maybe you would be selected and win the opportunity to purchase a Figaro for yourself. So that's a pretty cool automobile from that regard. Now, this is actually a shared platform. There's some other vehicles that are referred to as Nissan's Pike cars, like the Pao and the S-Cargo, that are a similar platform and same powertrain, which is pretty much shared across the board. So what you're looking at is a turbocharged 987cc inline-4, producing about 75 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission. Now let's start taking a look at some of the other features to the vehicle here. So we have a very adorable figure that's also shared with some of its Pike siblings. We actually have a fixed roof convertible here. So just like some of the older 1950s Italian cars that would exist, like the Fiat 500, you have a fixed convertible, so this stays up the whole time, but the missing portion here is actually a fabric soft top that rolls into the back here. And one of the cool parts about the Figaro is almost kind of like a luxury cute K car. It actually had a glass window in the rear, and that would be defrosted even. So you even had some features fairly luxurious if you ever had cold weather or things like that. On the inside, we have our shifter for our 3-speed automatic transmission, along with some very cool sort of awesome inspired gauges, and a lot of that comes from the way that these cars were positioned. So while some people, think of the more traditional sales methods for cars, the Nissan Pike cars were sort of sold in a way similar to what you might find here in the US as how people market technology, sort of trying to present very cool and exciting methods, very trendy, that type of stuff in terms of what's all going on with the car. Now, these cars were pretty lightweight. This one came in around 1,800 pounds. You can see from its size, I'm about 6 foot tall for reference, and just how little this car is. My wingspan's wider than it, for example, not something that you'll see in the US too often. These cars weighed about 1,800 pounds due to some of those size restrictions I mentioned earlier, and so mixed with that 75 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque, you could expect a 0 to 60 in around 12.2 seconds and a top speed about 106 miles per hour. So some cars, there's a lot of K cars that have turbocharged variants like this car here that can actually find a ton of horsepower when they're looking for it, which is a pretty cool feature. This is a 2+2, even though the back seat is really only useful for groceries, so that's a pretty interesting feature. But that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys are interested in picking up a collector car for yourself, be sure to check out autohunter.com and ClassicCars.com. That's our online auction and our online marketplace with cars going live every single weekday. If you guys enjoyed the video, you can hit that like button for us. We really appreciate it. Consider getting subscribed for more content like this in the future. Thanks so much for watching.